let's try a science experiment to find out the actual truth about titles and tags and all the stuff that everyone seems to have an opinion on. Hey, I'm Pam Duthie and I'm here to help you craft your career with creative marketing and artistic inspiration. And today, I'm attempting to debunk some myths that people have about listings, about your titles and about your tags. And to do this, what we're doing... Now, if you've seen my videos from the past couple of weeks, you'll see that I came across a tag that is fairly easy to rank for, but not totally the easiest thing in the world. The tag dog ring bearer is manageable to rank for, and hopefully, and you'll see why, hopefully I'm not going to sell a lot for it. Just because I want to do this experiment just to see, without sales, without views, where does just my SEO get things? So I'm going to create several different listings that are almost all identical. Hopefully Etsy doesn't flag me for this. I've checked the rules and I don't think there's anything against this because it's all personal, custom made things, so I can make them all if they all sell. So we're testing to see several different things. So as you can see along the top here, I've got several different listings that I'm just building. I've built them all the same apart from some little differences. Now, I've just put up a picture. It's not even a great picture. We're only putting up one picture. Basically, I'm not trying to sell these. I'm just trying to SEO them. And we'll start at the very first one, in fact. So, very first one. So we've got the picture, which is a bad picture, but it'll do the job for sure. And the title is, the tag that I'm aiming for is just dog ring bearer. As I'm sure you can understand, this is just trying to test the brevity of the tag, the shortness of the tag, because on Google and on my tests that I've done before, there does seem to be a bonus for having just the keyword that you want to rank for in the title. That makes it more relevant, more of an exact match. So that's what I'm testing here. Most of the other things are all the same. The description in all the cases is the same. Trying to give a little bit of information in case anyone does come across this, but I really want them to not to buy it. And for this, for the tags, what I've done is just tried to make the tags completely focus in on the dog ring bearer. This is again to test, to find out, because people, I'm going to say spout myths. People say things that basically if I have dog and dog ring bearer, then Etsy's not going to see the word dog. It's going to penalise us so much for repeated things. Now, I think this is rubbish. I've noticed this is rubbish in my testings, but I just want to test it even more, like once and for all here. So this is tags and a title all just aiming towards one thing. So the tags are a single word, dog ring bearer, and then ring bearer, dog ring bearer, and then the plural, dog ring bearers, ring bearers. So just everything to tell Etsy this is exactly what this item is. It is nothing else. This is pretty much what we want. We want Etsy to think the item is. So that's my first listing. Now, I'm not going to be able to set them live all at exactly the same time because I'm a human, not a machine, but we'll do it as quickly as I can. And so for my second listing, what I've got, the exact same thing with a shortened title. Everything else is all the same, the description is the same, but what I've done different here is my tags. My tags are different. There's several word tags so that are around the theme, because the animals have got kilts on. We've got personalised kilted, canine art, pet sculpture, just trying to not repeat the same words as much as I possibly can. And I have to say, for you guys that don't repeat any words at all in all of this, you are geniuses. This took me forever to try and think of this. So there we go. This is the short title, but with long keywords that don't duplicate. So that's our second listing. And listing number 3 dog ring bearers. So this is the plural. These two were the singular, so now we're testing if dog ring bearers makes a difference. Oh, that's fun to click there. Why is missed something? That's good to click through there. There we go. Made to order for that as well. Yeah, so the plural here, and as we come down, everything else is the same. Not changed anything, and this is just the singular as well. It's just the plural in the title. Just testing that. So that is item number 3. It's short title, long tags, and plural. I'm not going to do everything. It's not possible to get every little thing sorted, but we're testing for a few things. So now what we have is a much longer title. This is the old style title that people in the past have recommended, which is basically just my tags, shortened up a bit so it fits. All the tags popped in here with dog ring bearer at the end. Everything else is exactly the same. But dog ring bearer is at the end, the tags, the description, it's all exactly the same. So that's our 4th listing, long title, keyword at the end. So just testing to see if there's a difference in the position of where we put our keyword, and also testing if the long keywords make a difference, because I'm sure you can guess the final one is all the same as everything else, apart from it's a long title, but dog ring bearer is at the start. So this is my science. Hopefully I don't get into trouble for doing this sciencey, but we've got to try all the time and find out what's true, what's a lie. So I'm going to immediately in real time set all of these up, and then I'll leave it an hour or so, come back and look at where they're all ranking, and then once I've done that, I'll leave it a couple of days and see how they rank over time. So let's hit this and see how it goes. So we're going to list them all. Publish. And it's live. And the second one. Publish. And we're live. Trying to do this as quick as I can. It takes a bit of time. And second to last one. And our final listing. So that is all the listings up. Whew. So I'll come back in a little while and see how that gets on. So let's see what happened 4 hours after this. So we're back onto the rank checker on Etsy Rank, putting in our keyword term, dog ring bearer, in all locations, and just having a quick run through this and seeing what results we get. How have we done? Where are we listing? So this is in real time, so you can see how long it takes to pull up the listings, which really isn't long considering all the data it's going through. So what do we have? On page 1, we've got them, yep, they've all bumped ahead of the listing that I already had up, because that's the wee newness boost, because they're a brand new listing. And yeah, so we have got all the different listings, the one with the long title but good keywords, that's at the top, but it's also already had one view. Yes, swines. Second one down is the dog ring bearer with the terrible little one-word titles. Third down, short title, short tags. And third and fourth down is the plural of that, dog ring bearers. And the last one is dog ring bearers, but the keywords at the end of the title. So that's interesting to start with. What I'll be doing is coming back to these over time and seeing what happens, because obviously this is just the first 4 hours, so even just the time, the order that I listed them in, because that had to take a couple of seconds, that makes a difference. Okay, so it is currently 4 days after the start of this experiment. Now I've been checking back on this ranking position every few hours on Etsy Rank, and the listings have been bouncing about a wee bit apart from one, but I'll explain this in a second. So I've just done the search and I want to show you it. So dog bearer in my shop, Ben McFuzzylugs, and location everywhere in the world. And as I say, these have all been bouncing about a little bit. Now, what's stayed the same is after the first thing that you'll have just seen a moment ago, this last listing has dropped down below my initial listing. Now, I thought the others would drop down below this initial one because it's had a lot more views and a lot of sales, but it shows that the boost for making a brand new listing, it does give them a bit of good ranking power, apart from this last listing. Now, what's so important about this last listing? Our keyword term, our dog ring bearer, is right at the end of this one. So this is the thing that has made the biggest difference, well and truly. And this is what I thought would happen. Even though it's had a few views and it could have got them through any other term, or it might have just been spotted on my main page or anything, I would have to go into my stats and look at this more deeply. And this is why this isn't a totally scientific experiment, because I couldn't stop people looking at my listings. Even if I'd just made the picture a sign saying don't click on this listing, people would have still clicked on it. In fact, they'd have probably still clicked on it more. So yeah, there's no way I could stop people clicking, so that will make a slight difference to the rankings. But this guy, no matter, even though he's got a heart and he's had some views, he's dropped down to the bottom and he's stayed there. He dropped down to the bottom after about 8 hours. So yes, it's clear enough to me to say, as I thought would be the case, if your keyword's at the end of the title, it's less relevant, it gives you less of a boost than if it's at the start of the title. So let's look at the others. So number 1 is the listing that just has our keyword term, dog ring bearer. And that's all we've got there. And the key and your tags are a good mixture of things, but the first one, the main one, is dog ring bearer is in there. So this guy has been pretty much, although these have been bouncing about a little bit, it's not totally been fixed in stone, but this guy has been at or near the top most of these past 4 days. Second listing is this guy, dog ring bearer, where the keywords are basically, as much as I possibly could, are only focused in on dog ring bearer. Now, one reason I put this in was some people are claiming the myths that if you have the same word repeated in your tags, then it's penalised for, it's ignored, so it would hurt you. And so we've got the word dog and the word dog, the word ring and the word ring. But there is no sign that this is being penalised. If it was, this would have been dropping way down. So it certainly doesn't hurt. The fact that this is second down instead of first is also showing that it doesn't necessarily help either. In some SEO, it does help if absolutely everything is telling the search engine that this is the exact thing that this is about and no other thing. But there doesn't seem to be any kind of bonus in having everything focusing in on this dog ring bearer. This listing here too has, they're still relevant terms for the listing, but they're more of a range of things. So you can optimise for dog ring bearer and then use tags for other things. You don't have to use all your tags to try and optimise for the one keyword term. And then third down in the listing, you've got this one with the longer title, but our keyword is at the start of the title. Now this is lower than these two. It's bouncing up and down, but the thing is, it's got the most views out of all of these. Now this could just be a bit of luck. I'll have to go back and look in the stats later. Or this could be because it's ranking for another maybe simpler term. So if all your terms are easy to rank for, then it might be a good idea to go for a few. But if you can't rank for something, then maybe you would want to really focus in on one. But it's certainly at the minute in time, it's suggesting that there is no great penalty for having a long title, apart from, obviously, all these are less optimised for than this guy. So there's no penalty, but there's no bonus in that you're not really getting a whole lot of help for these. So just an interesting point there. And in the 4th position is the plural version of this. And it's very interesting that this guy is all the way down here, because all the difference is it's plural. We've got an S on the end, and that shouldn't make a difference, which really is kind of telling me, because if you search for plural, the results come up pretty much identical. So this is sort of telling me that these 4 listings are all very much of a muchness. There doesn't seem to be a huge difference. I mean, the fact they're on different pages. This is also kind of, to me, showing us that declumping is still in effect for several terms at least, because I'm only getting one item on page 1. This guy was on page 1, but he's got shunted down by these. And when one of these has come up to page 1 randomly, the other ones come down. I've only ever had one on page 1 for this term. And again, it seems a couple on page 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're not all on the same page, even though they were all created at about the same time. So that's certainly interesting. I don't think there's a massive disadvantage to having the plural. Certainly, as I say, when I search for dog ring bearers, this list comes up exactly the same. So that's just a bit of interest for you there. But the biggest thing I'm going to say, all of these are about much of a muchness. The biggest difference that I'm seeing on this very small non-scientific test is if you put your keyword at the end of your title, then it's not going to do as well. That has been very definitive. This one has been down here on page 5, well, literally from day 1. So another reason for doing this is just to show you how, if you hear something and you're wondering, is that right? It's pretty easy to run a little test for yourself. I mean, it's 20 cents to put up a listing, and I can repurpose these a little bit. I can make them better, make them slightly different, no problem at all. But yeah, it's only 20 cents to put up a listing. So if you're not sure if something would work, test it, experiment, have a go and see what works for you, rather than believing people spout their ideas about what's best on Etsy. But if you can test it, do science on it, and that gives you a much better idea. So I hope that helps a little bit. If you have any ideas for any other scientific experiments, or if you found different things when doing something like this, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, we're going to be having loads more videos on optimizing your listings for Etsy, smashing Etsy, and just doing awesome at selling your art online. So I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.